This conference will now be recorded.
Jawad, Kevin, Michael, Rita, Sam. Okay, we're almost all set for our workshop. I'm going to share my screen. I want to talk about two things. Just our usual. Anybody have any opens that are going to take some time? We should probably get to them first.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Here's the agenda for the workshop. I think we're about 130 registrants right now. Roughly what I've done is, can you see my screen?
Yes.
We can.
Okay. All right. So this is, I split the date and the agenda into 4 blocks, moved things around a little bit more. We've got the Facebook talks up front after the introduction. Then we've got a protocol mapping session that David Kellett is going to lead. Then we've got a POC discussion that JP is going to lead. We've got a die-to-die session, which is simply a collection of related talks. Xilinx is going to talk about a new, apparently it should be OpenHPI. OpenHPI. Cadence is going to talk about a die-to-die interface. Ramin's going to do a status update on the Bow work group. Prakash from Sci-Fi is going to do a Bow initialization calibration talk. After that, we have a test panel, which sort of went through a lot of churn, but I think we're getting awfully close to settling in on people. We have a Dave Armstrong from the IEEE HIR, thanks to Bill. Karthik and Rajamani. Karthik from Synopsys, Rajamani from NVIDIA, if I have it right, thanks to Kevin. And we're going to get one more Cadence test engineer, whose name I forgot, Kevin. I need to add that. Then we close the day. Sam, as usual, brings up the end of the day, but this time he's got a lot of meat on his. He either has a panel or a survey update to take us into the break. And then we've got Chris Ortiz from ANSYS and Jawad doing a work stream update, basically. So it's workflow. I should probably change this topic to. That's roughly how the day is organized. Does it make sense? We've got 21 speakers from 17 companies, I think.
I'm going to need to move quick.
We're going to need to move quick. We started out with in fact, yes, we were. And I don't know how to solve this problem. This time I even made time for 1 hour each of protocol mapping and POC before they blew up. Or, the POC guys came back and said, oh, you were there. We need another 20 minutes. And I said, yeah, right. That's going to happen.
Hey, do you have, I'm curious, a list of the companies attending?
I do, but I don't think I'm allowed to share it because of privacy rules.
I see.
Kevin, yesterday you did an overview. By any chance, do you have that handy that we can share without revealing?
I'm just curious, the Googles. I know Microsoft is still on.
Microsoft is there. There's 76 companies total after I filtered out the duplicates and stuff.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
It's for some weird reason we have a lot of Facebook attendees. No, we got a fairly good mix. We got Mellanox, Broadcom, Synopsys, Cadence, Intel. The one big company missing is IBM, and I don't know whether.
No, IBM's not on the list too.
Yeah. We've got
Maybe too far.
we got on semi a fairly rich collection of attendees.
Yeah. Very
I'm sorry,
nice. That's actually impressive.
who's that speaking?
This is Tawfiq from Microsoft.
Oh, thanks, man. I didn't recognize your voice.
Oh, no problem. Thanks.
But we only got one attendee registered for Microsoft. If my memory is correct. I was
There's
expecting.
more. There's
Sorry?
more. There is more. I know of more.
Okay, then we need. Let me get offline and check the. Maybe you have to go back to them and ask them to register. Okay, well, we'll check.
Okay, so I assume the one you're talking about is myself, right?
That's my memory.
Okay, I'll ask them to register. That's thank you for bringing that up. I'll make sure they do.
Yeah, we're beginning to nudge up against space constraints. So
Oh,
we
that's
have a good good head count. It'll be useful.
okay. I hope I know some Google folks, and like you said, on semi, and the few folks attending. So I hope they have all registered. But I'll send an email, remind people.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's only 2 Google registrants right now.
I'm sorry.
As of yesterday morning, there were only 2 Google registrants.
It's very hard to hear. 3 people
There are only
from.
3 Google registrants as of yesterday morning.
Okay. I'll just send an email, especially to the Microsoft folks, but I'll make sure. I know for sure more than one person is attending Microsoft, most likely 3 actually, but
Okay, it would be. I think it'd be helpful to Kevin if you could please register.
Copy? Sorry, this
Yes.
is Rita. So
Yes,
I
Rita.
think I was going to propose for Kartik to be the officiator of the panel, and Karen was going to be doing the test methodology stuff.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I just don't have a panelist, but sure. As long as they're
it'd be
up for
nice.
it,
I think so. I'm going to talk to him today. I've been pinging him back and forth, but I'm going to go to his office today and actually meet him. So he's in a different organization that I
okay.
wasn't very familiar with. We've been jabbering, but I think he would be a great one with the background because he's actually gone through some of the at different organizations. I don't know if he discussed that with you a little bit. So I
Right.
think
Okay.
he would be a good one to be able to officiate the panel. And then I have Karen, which is Kare. I think I passed you.
Yep.
And he was traveling too. So I'm hoping this morning I can get hold of him too also. So by this afternoon, I should be able to confirm both those guys.
Got it. Okay. Well, I was about to nominate you as the moderator, so but it's your call.
Oh, I think he's a much better person that I can observe.
Okay. Well, but that gets me to the other point. What does your collective wisdom think about? Should we have moderators for each session? Again, this one has one, JP moving this. I think the protocol mapping session has Dave Kellett moving it along. The dietary session is kind of open. You think we should have a per session? Yeah.
I can volunteer. What happened is I think a moderator will allow the thing to move faster and on time and kind of motivate people.
Okay, that's all right. All right, Rita, that works. Thank you.
Would you mind forwarding me the contact? I think I have Kevin's contact. I don't think I have Rishi's. And I think I can get Rami.
No, I can do that. I can do that.
Okay. So I can ping them and kind of introduce myself, and that's it. That's great. Thank you.
Perfect. Jawad or Sam, to one of you who moderates the last hour.
Moderates the whole hour?
Yeah, just this 1 hour.
I mean, I can, if you want, I can moderate.
Perfect.
I'm happy to do that. That means keep things running on schedule.
Yeah.
Make
the
introductions and keep things running on schedule. Okay.
yes. Kevin, will you do the Facebook portion?
Bapi,
I have
I
it.
don't know if he can. Oh, okay.
You mean the first 3 presentations, or?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be happy to support that.
Okay. Okay. Oh, JP arrived at the right time, just to see himself being volunteered. All right. I think then we're all set, right? Any other changes? Any other changes?
So, how many people do we have as of today, Bapi?
As of today, I don't know. As of yesterday, we were at around 128, I think.
Okay.
As of 125, 128 is my memory. And then we decided to up the limit to 150.
Perfect.
Hey, Gary, we don't have any IBMers attending in person.
Yeah, we're kind of busy.
Send one of them our way.
Or is it too far?
It's pretty far.
So we have one of everyone but IBM. So we need some. We would love to have someone from IBM. Okay. So in that case, unless there are any other objections, I think the agenda is set, right?
Looks good to me.
Okay, Sam, you're my all good.
I'm good.
All good. All right. Perfect. Then we're good to go. I will send. I'll send the. Oh, the one thing. Okay. So now that we have moderators, I think you should have access to this. Kevin needs the slides uploaded to this by Tuesday. I'll give you permission as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's a good question with respect to there'll be one computer, because before we've had some issues in terms of PowerPoint versus PDF and just I guess the linkage for the webcasting. So
Yeah.
that's talk through the logistics of that, so we'll all know for sure what to expect.
So everything will be loaded into the room presentation system, and there won't be a separate computer.
Okay, so we need to send things to you by Tuesday to get all that prepared.
Upload it into this directory,
Kevin.
and then Kevin will get it from here.
Okay.
All of you have permission here.
Okay.
If each session moderator can make sure that their talks are uploaded here, then we're in business.
Okay, makes sense.
And Rita, you'll have to you got a particularly ornery collection of people who'd like to make their decks at the very last minute. So
Crack the whip, right? That's what you
yeah,
say.
because otherwise
Sure.
the deck is going to show up at around 2 p.m. just before the talk.
Sure. I mean, I have no issue with that, but I think, yeah, okay.
No, Kevin can't. The logistics can't handle it. They have to be uploaded by the previous night or the morning.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. So we talked about that. Kevin, is there anything else on the logistics other than parking? Everybody get there early, kind of thing.
Yeah, because there's shuttle buses, right? You park.
Yeah,
offsite.
some big parking thing. Okay.
People have to leave enough time for parking and making it on time.
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe the right way to do it is that we have some kind of a preliminary version by Monday, whatever exists, so we at least have something in the system.
Hey, I apologize, Boppy. My phone is giving me fits this morning. So everyone's going to need to park in another building. They'll be shuttled over. There'll be 3 shuttles running on a continuous loop in the morning and continuous loop in the afternoon. Everyone needs to come in and show ID, and then a Facebook team member will come pick them up, most likely in groups of like 5 to 10 people, and bring them back to the event area. If anyone needs to leave in the middle of the day, then they'll have to be escorted back to the lobby. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to do this, and we're going to have a bunch of Facebook volunteers wearing either like green or blue Facebook shirts, so they'll be easily recognized in order to facilitate the escorts back to the lobby. To get back to the parking area, they'll have 2 choices. They could either take one of the regular Facebook shuttles that runs periodically around campus, or there's an on-demand car service that they could use to get back to the parking area. But you know, the back and forth is going to add time for everybody, so people should be really conscious of the fact that if they're going to have to leave in the midday, it's probably going to take them 20 to 30 minutes to get back to their car. Can't think of anything else.
Hey, what if you're not driving, like you're taking Uber or something? Where do you get dropped off?
Like there's some data on that in the stuff that was uploaded to the event part, but there's going to be 2 possibilities. Generally, we don't allow the rideshare services to cross onto the campus that we're on. There's some agreement with the town on Menlo Park in terms of the number of cars that are allowed to drive onto the main campus. So to get back to your vehicle, or to get a Lyft or Uber, they'll have to go to one of the pickup spots, and the security team at the desk will be able to help them get there.
Okay, and on the way in, we just get dropped off at the main gate.
On the way in by a car service?
Right.
I guess you're asking for very personal reasons, given
yes.
your car trouble.
I'm freshly carless.
I think there are a bunch of drop-off spots, and when someone schedules a Lyft or Uber, there's only a couple spots that they can get dropped off. Like the tool itself won't let you get dropped off at the main entrance or the main campus. Ideally, the best thing would be for people to get dropped off at 41 and take the same shuttles back and forth.
Okay.
Any other questions I can answer on logistics?
Oh, are they like phone booths if people need to make calls or something?
There are some smaller like breakout areas, but the facility we're in, the part of the building we're in, there are some small tables that people could go off in a corner and make some phone calls, but there aren't per se a significant number of like 1-person phone booths or areas that are totally private.
I mean, it'd be nice to kind of make an announcement, I guess, for people, because I'm sure people may have calls or something. I don't know. Especially since they're getting in and out is a little bit going to be a process. So they may.
It is going to be a process. Yeah, I'll include that in the welcome words that I say.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Boppy, is it possible for you to put the link to the Google folder in your notes?
Yes. Hang on, but the link, I don't know if everybody has permission.
Yeah, I was just looking for that, and I can't. I wasn't finding it. Kevin, you'd mentioned that you were going to share it, but I don't see it in my folder.
No, I think Boppy has sharing capability.
Bobby will share it. Okay.
So I'll give you viewing capability on the link, and then if you.
This is the thing we have to upload the presentations to, though.
Yeah, and then I will. Once you ask for permission to upload, I think if you don't already have it, I'll get like a request for sharing.
Okay.
Jawad, is that fair?
Yep.
Just as long as we get the link to have an ability to put this stuff on there before Kevin needs to pull it all together.
Provide the slides and it will come together.
Okay, so that gets us to takes care of the summit. Excuse me, that takes care of our workshop. Anything else? Got the agenda, the logistics, private rooms, everything else. Okay. So global summit. We have a 3-hour workshop right now. We could ask for more time if needed. I don't think we can get more time, but what am I saying? Where we have the 3 hours. These are the submissions we have right now. Rita just made it. And then I think we have 2 more coming in, if I'm not mistaken. So we have a total of 6 submissions already, right? DJ and Kevin will have at least 2 more, right?
I believe we'll have at least one more. We're expecting a submission from Broadcom to show up in the next couple hours. DJ, did you have another one on the hook?
No. So Kevin, we are talking on OCP Global Summit, right, Bapi?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. So we'll have 2 submissions. Like Kevin said, Broadcom one should come today, the abstract. And the second one should be from Cadence. So these are the 2 for OCP Global Summit. Yes, we'll have 2 submissions.
And there's one missing from Sci-Fi. I know that. Prakash from Sci-Fi wanted to submit. So we'll have a total of 7 submissions. Out of I'd say it's actually 3 submissions plus Rita's panel right now is the. So it's sort of 3 unsolicited, that's the wrong word. 3 submissions from the wild, or I don't even know what the heck the right word is. Never mind. From this, so we have to have nominally the deadline's the 13th, which apparently is today. I don't know. Somehow it was a very clever idea to generate accepts and rejects on the Friday the 13th.
Hey, Bapi, I'm assuming you're not going to be putting on a hockey goalie mask or anything. The 4 submissions or 3.
Sorry, go ahead.
The 3 submissions to date, are those the post-filtered ones or just the raw number that were generated? Because I know some of the server group leads were considering moving some of the submissions out of the ODSA track into the OAM track.
Just the one. I thought we originally had 4. We only had 3, and I thought one was not. And these 2, in my mind, one was a software, right? This was software, so this kind of looked interesting. This is a software proposal. This I thought should be moved out. I think
that may be the one. I'm actually trying to find the email thread right now.
Yeah, I thought we had 3 originally. I thought out of the 3, 1 should have been moved out. Because this was this in my mind was an OAI proposal, not a ODSA proposal. As this at least software you could sort of say is the case for ODSA and it's a die-to-die interconnect.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I'm just double checking. Let's chat offline. Just make sure.
Okay. So then actually that's a good call. I thought it had already been moved out. So 2 submissions. We need some way to. So the next. We need some way. I think it's wrong to do it in a recorded meeting unless. So we need some way to choose and finally form our panel, form a workshop, presumably by next week or at least the week after. So I was thinking I'll hold an offline meeting at some point. I'll hold a online meeting in the week of in Christmas week and just form the agenda and put out a call for volunteers as to whoever wanted to participate in doing that. Is that fair?
Oh, good.
This is a long-winded way of me saying if anybody else has anything else they'd like to present, I think it would be very good to get it in by next week. We're going to also do a minor call for if they ask for papers or anybody else who has any ideas at the workshop, right?
Okay.
Okay. So if anybody has any where I need help is I think we agreed on last week that we should do we should do a review, right? I think that's what we said. We'll do a review. I'll go back and look at the notes.
Right.
But I remember saying we should do a review of some kind.
Oh, there
So
obviously we need to decide what you may have more submissions than time. So
right. So what we said was roughly. I'm going by memory here. We said roughly half the time would be given to submissions,
mhm.
a chunk to a panel, and a
Right.
chunk to a review. Those are the three big legs of the
Yeah, I think
times.
that makes sense.
Submissions. Submissions, panel, and review. I think the review is let me this we didn't agree on, but roughly it feels like this should be around 30 minutes. Or maybe even 20 minutes. And the key question is, do we have one panel or two panels, or can we even squeeze two panels in?
Oh, I wouldn't try to do two. If you only got 3 hours total, how could you?
Yeah. So maybe I cut this down to around 45 minutes. A break. I think it's a 10-minute break or a 20-minute break, DJ. Do you know by any chance?
I don't know on top of my head. Assume 30-minute break.
30. All right, fine. 30.
By the way, maybe you can do panel for an hour. Instead of having two panels, you can have a slightly longer panel with more topics covered. Just a thought. And maybe a bigger panel. That way you still have one panel.
I like that idea because the panel that I proposed was to use HBM as a reference, but it could be expanded. The whole purpose is learn from it for everything else. So we could definitely have a little bit of a, okay, what do we learn from this discussion? And apply it for all the other different flavors. So yeah, we can expand the panel definitely. I think.
How many? So let's say we give the review 20 minutes. It's 30. So this leaves room for 3 talks, right? So that means something's got to go. The break has to come down, my man.
So maybe the break can be 20 minutes. I think break is easily in our control. We can decide what the break time is. ODSA group can decide what the break time is and publish it as such. So audience is well aware of it. And most of the time it would be a captive audience of a sort because they have committed 3 hours to listening to ODSA. So I think, Bapi, you have some control over the break time.
Okay. So how many talks? Should we try to squeeze in 4 or 5? 3, 4, or 5? Any thoughts?
You have the topics. I mean, it'd be nice to have a broad range covered instead of having the same kind of area repeated.
I'll tell you what the topics are. One is software. Software, die to die. I'm assuming we'll actually have 2 proposals on die to die, and so maybe we ask them to combine it into one talk on die to die. Maybe that's the right idea.
True.
I don't know what the Broadcom topic is. And this is one on RISC-V. No prizes on guessing where that comes from. And what do you, DJ, do you have any thoughts on what the Broadcom topic will be?
Actually, yes. Broadcom is going to talk about their use cases, which are beyond the two which most people talk about, I/O disaggregation and system integration. So they would expand that sec to include new ideas, which everybody can become aware of. And then they will also talk about application into areas like 5G, where they are seeing certain challenges, which perhaps an approach like chiplet can help solve the problem. So these are the two broad things which they would like to cover, I think, and it makes for a comprehensive talk, expanded use case driven by a market application.
It's perfect.
Okay, so then the big open, I don't know where this person is, the software is from. Thank you, DJ. So, no, it's actually, okay, so that means I think we should aim for, based on this, I say we aim for 4. This seems like a reasonable, the only big open is whether the risk-wise we can get other people to join in, but 4 combined talks seems reasonable, right?
Yeah. Is your break though? Is the break in the middle of the 3 hours?
Yes.
Are you that? My only concern there is just make sure that you're like an hour and a half and break an hour and a half, right?
So it's 80, 140, right here, right? We do talks.
Talks, little break, panel.
Break.
Yeah.
So the review is going to be the tail end, sort of going to summarize everything then, everything that happened and at the day and in the year in ODSA. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think we talked about that in a couple of calls back, right, Bapi?
Yeah. No, I mean, my first inclination was to put it at the beginning of the day, but I'm saying it makes sense to have it at the end of the 3 hours. Just sort of a wrap up of both the day and the year.
Yeah, I think we can mull about that. We don't need to finalize it right away. I think we can kind of discuss it. For me, it's not obvious which one is better, but maybe others might think about it and then we can discuss it later. I think these order can be changed even in January. Yeah.
But it adds up to 180, right? 80, 100, 160, 180. But okay,
your
so I like. Sorry?
I said your math is better than mine.
I like these okay, here's my proposal. We settle on these topics and we guide. Maybe the open hardware is still in my mind as the one that's still flaky. I don't know what the right word is, flaky or uncertain. But if somebody else new comes along, we guide them to join one of these talks. We say we're going to have 4 20-minute talks. You're welcome to join the group and you do a combined talk. Does that make sense?
I think it does. One idea is also we could suggest the panel, because I haven't really fixed up the complete panel. So if we can fit them within the panel, we can always, if they're willing to join the panel with the topic that they have, especially if we are to expand the panel just beyond just HCM.
Got it. Okay. Anybody have any alternatives to open hardware or actually not maybe I won't call it open hardware. Open hardware contributions. There. Okay. I like that. So Sam, if you guys decide you want to do something, this would be a session you join in my mind.
Oh, if we wanted to talk about the contributions of the
yes
import stuff. Okay.
Okay, unless somebody objects, I like, this seems to be a reasonable collection of 4 topics: software, die-to-die, use cases, and contributions. Any objections? Should we, as a first order thinking?
Do you know if there's anything on testing?
We're going to have to push testing into the panel as things stand, I think. We're going to have a huge panel on test at the workshop.
Okay.
So, would you like to replace one of these with testing? I'm asking. I'm not. It's a.
No, not necessarily. I honestly don't have a strong opinion, so.
Can we make
I
that
think
decision after the face-to-face next week? Because test hasn't been covered that much, and depending on the level of interest, that actually may not be a bad thing to consider, to have more focus, right? Because
So we're missing testing. We're missing the business, and maybe we push that into the review, the market survey and everything else, and we're missing CDX and workflow. Do all 3 go to the panel?
I don't know what you mean by work.
I guess what I would, my perspective is, so this at the global summit, so this is part of the big OCP meetings that we should be more focused on presentations and panels that are more about the value proposition, applications, use cases, and things like that. What problems is it solving, and as opposed to the more, like testing and things like that, which are more problems that we need to solve within the community. At least that's just the way I'd look at it.
Mm-hmm. That's actually good. And also,
Hey,
we
Sam,
need to be careful for it not to turn to be more of a promotional presentation and more addressing what the community needs are.
Right. Say that thing again, Sam.
No, I was just saying, because this is the global summit for OCP, that this 3 hours, I mean, you'll have these presentations, hopefully submissions on various kind of product offerings or those challenges associated with that. And I would expect the panel to be more oriented towards why and the problems that this technology solves. And maybe we can talk about some of the challenges, but I wouldn't dive deep into like a discussion of test or CDX or things like that. I would just try to have it more up level in terms of the discussion, because I think a lot of the attendees won't have a lot of exposure to what the ODSA topic is.
Okay, I think that's a very wise thing. That makes a lot of sense. And does this collection of topics meet that framework? These 4 things here?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Okay, in that case, we are in better shape after this meeting than before we started it. Okay, DJ, Kevin, Jawad, does this sound right?
Yeah, looks good to me. Yeah.
Kevin, DJ, or do we lose DJ?
No, I'm here. Looks okay, Vapi.
Reasonable, right? I think it's okay. Kenneth, Paul, anything? So, Tawfiq, anything else? Carrie?
Nothing for me.
Okay. So in that case, I'm going to try for the 23rd. I'm assuming a bunch of people have so the 23rd is literally the only day the week after the workshop that I can see. So I will try for like a quick 2-hour meeting on the 23rd, and whoever's interested can, if you could show up.
On the 23rd. Not gonna be able to join that, Bobby.
23rd is to the wrong week.
December. So we're gonna. I'm sorry. You said you wanted to have a meeting on the 23rd, or after after the session.
Yes, because we're going to do another call on the 18th. Give people about 4 or 5 days to say we want to do something. And, I'm assuming people are out 24, 25, 26. So it's either the 23rd or the 27th.
I'm out the whole week, actually.
And I'm assuming New Year's Eve is a holiday for many people.
Yeah. Is it possible to extend the Friday 20th, next week's, a little bit longer, or find a time? Because I realize, I'll be available, but just hearing a lot of people are taking that entire week or two off, maybe to give more chance, maybe on the 20th, which is next Friday, extend it, like make it 2 hour or so beyond just the standard weekly calls.
Okay. Yeah. Or I'll ask Bill and Archana if we can get back to them on the first the first and second are usually gone too, I guess. Yeah, those 2 weeks are gone.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Okay, I will. Let's aim then to 20th for a meeting immediately after this one. So we'll aim for 9 a.m. 1 week from today. Not recorded session. Should we try that?
What was the purpose for that? That's just to finalize on the global summit.
Yep, we have what we have, and we start gluing this thing together.
Okay.
And we can change our mind, but at least we should have like a straw man layout for the session.
Okay.
And if we have more contributions, I'm thinking we can make this 30 minutes. But the roughly think this is the framework, and see who we can bring in, who we can't.
Okay.
Or
20th
if
would be better for me. So.
Okay. Okay, that works.
Okay. I had a question on the workshop next week on this. A question for Kevin on dress code. Do we need to buy hoodies to wear?
Hoodie. Okay, that's new.
If you want to blend in, that would be great camouflage.
Okay.
I thought there'd be one on the shuttle, Kevin. One for each person getting on.
We'll be handing out hoodies.
Okay, in that case, we are done. Unless anybody has any opens else, you get 10 minutes back.
So you're going to send us instruction on how to upload stuff, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, great, no problem.
All right. Thanks, Poppy.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend. See you next week.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.